You know, early spring, it's you get excited to get out there and do a lot of yard cleanup, but you really should be careful how much you do all at once. You could go in stages. Some things take the cold better than others, like the bulbs down there, the daffodils. You know, any of the bulbs can handle cold. And how about the daylilies that are
well,
in
the
front of us too?
daylilies are tough, and you know, it's not too early usually once you see them growing like that to get a lot of the debris out from around it. But one of the things to keep in mind is don't have to get every little piece of grass or leaves and everything out of there. Leaving a little protection is good. Things like the ornamental grasses can be cut off very early in the spring or in the fall. This one needs it now. Roses, you know, you're starting to get the buds coming up out on the roses. At that point, it's a good time to prune them back. You know, but you were going to mention the hydrangeas.
Yeah, you know, if you have the macrophylla type of hydrangea, which are the big pink and blue balls, and they're very sensitive, and you should be mulching them in the fall, but don't hesitate. I mean, leave that mulch on. They don't like those spring frosts at all. So
right, those late spring freezes, things start pushing, start growing, then we get one of those late spring freezes. That's what causes the problem. And I got another plant we want to talk about along that lines is the hostas, and particularly in this garden, they're very sensitive to the late spring freezes. And if you start pulling all this off, you know, these buds are down inside there, and they're not ready to grow yet. And if you start pulling all this debris off too early, it's going to warm the soil. The sun's going to get in there. They're going to push those things up, and then they will get hit by that late spring freeze. By keeping this mulch of leaves on there and keeping it a little untidy for a while actually protects those plants a little better.
Yes.
And the other thing to keep in mind, if you're digging around the base of these plants and you see these little pellets that look like Osmocote fertilizer, quite often that's your slug eggs. And early spring, while they're still very small, it's very easy to control the slugs. Okay, if you wait till they're big hunkers, you know, in the summer, then they're very hard to control. Right. So think about early spring slug control at the same time.
Yes, and there's things you can put down that will help you with that early on as well, and those are things to consider in your cleanup too. Yeah. So thanks for joining us today. I'm Casey Kraus.
And I'm Jim Hotelling, the Home Gardeners from Hillside Garden Center.